Welcome to Raider Talks. I am your host, Art Navarrete, here alongside Nick Ibarra. Before we get started, hit that subscribe button down below for Raider content all year long. Today, we'll be talking about the Raiders-Niners game just a little bit, and we're also going to talk about how Jarrett Stidham's excellent performance, could make things interesting for this Raider QB future for next year. So let's get started. Let's talk a little bit about that Raider-Niner game. Raiders lose 37-34 on a last-second field goal. Nick, how'd you feel about the ball game?
Yeah, no, it was kind of surprisingly, it was a really good high-scoring football game. We come out first drive, punch them in their mouth, and score 7, and I kind of told myself, hey, don't get too excited. Let's see if we could build on this, because we in Raiders teams in the past, we've seen them put up 7 and blank the rest of the game, or only put up 3, and they kept going at it, and it seems like we were in the red zone. We're executing good. Offense played lights out today, 500 yards. Stidham for making his first career start. Didn't look like his first career start against the number 1 defense in the league. Really looked good, carved him up, and just everything was working. Offensively, it looked good. With a change of quarterback, I was eager to see how Devontae was going to be affected, how Waller was going to be affected, how everything was going to go. And it just seemed like those two didn't skip a beat. It seemed like Waller played a lot better under Stidham than Carr. So that was just really good to see. Moreau had a good game. The 2 tight end sets were good today. Offensively good. Defense couldn't get a stop. McCaffrey did what he wanted to do. Stopped Purdy a little bit. I think at the end of the game, or close to the end of the game, he was still had like 60-something yards, 70-something yards in the air. But I think offensively got the job done. Defensively, really, really struggled today. And, that was their big downfall today.
Yeah, the offense played really good today. I hated that last pick. I thought Stidham did not need to go there at that moment. I thought he did take some risk earlier in the game that got us in the situation of being overtime anyways. So I kind of get it. But in that situation right there, overtime, we're in control of this ball game. I did not like that throw. But besides that, I love the way Stidham played. I absolutely loved it. The way he used his legs, the way the play action worked, the way he just knew the system and knew it. He just knew it. He just knew it very well. He knew where everyone was going to be. He stuck in the pocket, looked at all his reads, taking hits while throwing the ball, scrambling out. He did everything that I want from a starting quarterback and who I want from a quarterback. So I thought he played really good. Can't wait to see him next week and see how he plays. Some guys could be one-hit wonders sometimes, so we'll see how Stidham plays next week, and that'll really make the decision for who's going to be a starting quarterback next year for the Raiders more difficult for Ziegler and McDaniels.
As far as, just the whole Stidham situation, everybody thought that he was going to struggle. And it wasn't
I didn't. I said he was going to be.
You call it offensive player, yes.
Offensive player of the game.
But, ESPN's, everybody thought that this was the game. You're throwing him out into the wolves in the number 1 defense of the NFL.
Yes.
That nothing was going to click. Nothing was going to happen. I think the first drive, they anticipated us running a little bit. And the play action and, the rollouts worked perfectly.
Yes.
And so after that, I said, how is he going to adjust knowing that play action's there, running game's there, for the Niners, coming at them? He stood in there. He took hits, improvised, got some time. I think the one to him and Devontae for the 60-yard touchdown was really good.
Beautiful.
That's something that I don't think we've seen out of a quarterback, wide receiver in a long time. With a quarterback improvising and a wide receiver improvising, kind of making his own route a little bit. It just looked good and didn't struggle today. Only made maybe 1 or 2 bad throws. Of course, the one at the end. Everybody was anticipating him struggling and not really doing good. He came out here, put up over 350 yards, 3 touchdowns, and really looked good.
Yeah, the way Stidham moved, he moved kind of like Mahomes, don't you think?
Yeah, and that was the one that, he waited for it to develop. Once it wasn't there, he ran. It wasn't like it was premature or where he was running premature or anything. It was nothing like that. And either we were close to the first down or we got first downs. This is something that I liked seeing out of him. And I think what impressed me more is that we weren't facing the bottom defense in the league. We're facing the number one defense in the league. Everybody rid us out. Vegas, their betting situation. We're a 2-point underdog. We jumped all the way down to 10, and we really made this thing a ball game. Had a late lead. Couldn't pull it out, but I just love the way he handled it and handled this offense.
Yeah, despite that last pick, like we've been talking about, but the drive where he had a chance to tie it, and he did. He got the job done in the fourth quarter. So he really did show that he can make plays in the big moments in a Raider game. That's a huge game against the Niners, kind of a rivalry. So he showed that he can be clutch.
And that one, if you want to, let's talk about the last drive. He had to sit there, had to make a play. He throws it up to Devontae. Devontae, go do you. Devontae gets it, makes a really great play. I thought it was picked. Live, it looked like it was picked. Then he comes out, shows the ball. Then you're like, did he catch it? And the ball didn't move. It's caught. And then a couple plays later, we score. And even on that one, just knowing that Waller was getting held in the end zone or whatever, let's put it to where only Waller can get it, so it doesn't get picked just in case they don't call it. That was a great call right there, and then we punch it in. I just think that last drive was beautiful, the way he orchestrated it.
Yeah, so I loved the way Stiddy mixed in, running the offense, running the quick plays to perfection, with taking chances as well. And I like the chances he took to Devontae. Devontae's one-on-one, let's throw it to him.
Yeah.
And there's been times throughout the year where we haven't got it to Devontae, where he's one-on-one, or just at least give him a chance. Stidham knows he's the number one wide receiver in football, so I'm going to throw it to him, give him a shot. And he did, and it worked out for 4 quarters. And it was beautiful to watch. It was beautiful to watch him go to work. It seemed like they had a chemistry about them.
And it just seemed like if hey, Stidham, if you're in trouble, throw it to me. I got you. Yes. And that's kind of what it was kind of like today. I think a couple throws, Devontae made Stidham look good, coming back and get it diving, or even the one where he jumped up. I think Waller jumped up and got it, but Devontae either a couple more too. I think all those guys rallied behind him and really performed and showed out for him.
What I really loved was how it was still the Devontae show on offense, right? But he spread the ball. He got it to everybody. Devontae Adams, 7 receptions, 153 yards. Darren Waller, 3 receptions for 72 yards. Foster Moreau, 3 for 55. Mac Hollins, 3 for 40. And Renfro, 3 for 19. Josh Jacobs out of the backfield, 4 for 26. So he spread the ball, but it was still the Devontae show. Yeah. I feel like sometimes with Carr, it was the Devontae show and only the Devontae show. And there were some times where he spread the ball out, but it seems like he didn't give it to Devontae enough. Yeah. I loved how he utilized everybody, but especially utilized the best receiver in the world.
Yeah, he got his. He had a really big day, but then it's also good to see the emergence of Darren Waller come back.
Yes.
And that this is a Darren Waller game of where we're accustomed to. A 70-yard game, a touchdown. That's old Waller right there. That's Oakland Waller. That's good Waller right there. I would love to get Renfro in a little bit more because we know how he is when he's more involved in. But today was really balanced. I loved how Moreau played. Coming out of a couple late catches and then the first catch to begin the ball game, and the offense looked really good today.
Yeah. Obviously, the defense looked very bad. Missing Rocky Sin, missing Denzel Perryman, missing Chandler Jones. It really hurt. It seemed like there was no pass rush today. That Purdy had all day to throw, and the run game was just so easy for McCaffrey, and that has a lot to do with Denzel Perryman being out. But it should be a next man up mentality for this defense, and they should have got the job done, but they didn't. They gave up 37 in this game, and it was pretty ugly on the defensive side of the ball.
I think we could say, we missed guys. We missed Chandler. We missed Perryman. We also missed tackles today.
Yes.
And that was the big thing. If we missed anything, we missed tackles today. We could have brought down McCaffrey a lot earlier on some of these plays, but we didn't. And there was a point where you just look and, Purdy wasn't throwing a lot of yards. I think he had 20 or 30 something, but they're up. And then you look at McCaffrey and he's already almost at 100 and he's just doing his thing. And that was the big thing today was if anybody it would be Perriman, stop the run. He's a Pro Bowl linebacker, but we just missed tackles today and that really hurt.
Yeah, next man up mentality, and it seemed like the Raider defense did not have it today. And man, just guys open a lot.
Yeah.
No pass rush. Even Max was missing a lot of tackles today.
Yeah.
He didn't have a great game. But no one played really good on the defense today. It really showed. And we lost to a 49er offense that has, a third-string quarterback going. He's won 4 or 5 in a row now. But, I wasn't that impressed with him. I thought we faced better quarterbacks and played better.
Yeah. And if we're going to take a tiny bright spot out of the defense, it's Amik.
Yes.
I think
he makes plays.
And I think he's due for maybe a mistake a game, but then he'll come back with 2 or 3 really good plays to equal it out.
To save us games sometimes.
And, yeah.
Big picks
there's been times in the red zone, I think in the Patriot game, bat it down and be cool. And I think just like today, we're lucky he was there, or else Kittle would have caught it, maybe even scored. And he came out of kind of nowhere and, got it and got the pick. And
for me, I know Trayon Merrick's a safety, but that's the opposite. Merrick plays almost too safe. He plays almost too safe, and people are just going to take advantage of that. And he doesn't go and try to be a playmaker. Doesn't go and try to make plays.
Yeah.
Where Meek, he's aggressive sometimes, tries to make plays, and he might get hurt on it, but he's at least a playmaker, and he makes plays, and he affects the game.
Yeah.
It seems like Merrick is not affecting the game. He's missing tackles. Guys are getting by him. I don't like the way Merrick played this game, or I don't really like how he's played this really this season.
Yeah, I think last year he was a difference maker. He was a difference maker.
And a different defense also.
Yeah, but we looked at him, and this guy's going to be a good safety coming up. You got one who can cover. And then, I'm talking about last year. And then you got Abram who can come in and just hit. Now it just seems, of course we cut Abram, but now it seems like he just lost in the mix. And he's not what we thought he could be. But going back to Amik, he's having a really good season, and I like what I saw from him today.
I don't like the way Nate Hobbs played today in the Raider game either.
It seemed like he was always in a play for a bad reason. In the end zone. Missing tackles. These past couple games have not been good on him, and I think coming back from his hand injury, maybe that's what it is. I don't want to make no excuse or anything, because you got to come back ready. If you're ready to play, you got to become ready to play. But he hasn't looked good coming back from that hand injury.
Yeah, the Raiders defense is going to need to be a lot better. They're going to need to make a lot of upgrades in the offseason for them to improve. But now let's talk about the quarterback situation. Stidham made this thing a little more interesting. Stidham wasn't a guy that was in the running for quarterback next year for the Raiders. But right now he put his name on the map. If he beats the Chiefs next week or has a really good game, and he might be the guy. He might be the guy.
Yeah.
And I think it's up to Brady, Stidham. I'll say Stidham first. Stidham. I don't know. It's crazy now, but Stidham, Brady, and I think probably Garoppolo, because I think Josh McDaniels and his offense, when it's ran good, we scored 34 points. It made it look really easy today.
I think last Wednesday's decision to bench Carr wasn't about let's give Stidham a chance. It just was about, hey, let's save Carr for the trades and his guaranteed money and everything. Today was a reason why we should look at Jarrett Stidham. He's a free agent after this season. Why the NFL should look at Jarrett Stidham, to be honest with you. He played really good, and I think just like you said, he's a McDaniels guy. Garoppolo's a McDaniels guy. Brady's a McDaniels guy. I think there's maybe just a certain few who get this system and who can run it. Obviously, Carr wasn't. And if this is his guy, I liked what I saw out of him today against the number 1 defense. I say why not? At halftime, I was thinking it, and we kind of talked. He looked really good, and this is someone who we can possibly see in the black and silver, or silver and black.
Yeah,
for quite some time.
Yeah, this is gonna be, man. This is interesting. This got even more interesting with Stidham, because that just adds another name to the hat.
Because no one was expecting this. Everybody was just, hey, let's just get these 2 games over with, and then be done. You know what I mean? And then when we get into the offseason, and for Waller to have a day, for Devontae to have a day, there's been a lot of speculation. What is he going to do? Is he going to force out? What is he going to do after that Instagram post? And everything. What is he going to do? He comes out. Stidham targets him a whole bunch. And they both did it for each other. He had a really great day.
Not only that, but how the players rallied around him.
Yeah.
And how, if you watch on the press conference, they're all excited for him, happy for him, pumped up. And I hate to say it, but it seems like the Carr thing's just done now. It's over with. And it's Stidham. And I love the way they're rallying around him and all that. And just the way he looked on the field. He looked like a Raider. He ran the ball when we needed to run the ball and scramble. He scrambled to keep plays alive. He had bloody mouth and was celebrating after a touchdown. This dude just looked tough, and he looked like a Raider. So I think that's why everyone's getting the vibe right now. Stidham could be the next quarterback for the Las Vegas
and
Raiders.
we go into we got one more game left, but he faced the 49ers. Next week he's going to face the Chiefs. These two teams can very well end up being in the Super Bowl.
Yes.
So his two starts this season may come against Super Bowl teams, and he already put in an impressive start this week. Next week, if he goes out and does the same thing, I think win or lose just shows that he can do it, especially with what they call our big brother in the AFC West. I mean, like I just keep on saying, why not Jarrett Stidham?
Yeah, I mean, watching Stidham today, I felt like a lot of quarterbacks, it would have been a blowout if they were our quarterback. I think Carr too. I think if Carr was playing quarterback, I think we lose or we get blown out. And I just like the way Stidham played. So we'll see how it goes. I really love the legs of him. He's a pocket passer, but the ability to use the legs when need to is something very big, especially in this league with all the athletes in the NFL.
And I think I saw something today that he avoided 5 sacks maybe. So I mean, that's just something to look at and just be like, that could have been negative yards, that could have put us out of field goal range, or that could have killed our drive. But it didn't. He got out of them. Some were for first down, some were close for first downs, and really just made things happen.
Yeah. If we're looking at the odds now, who are the top guys to be Raider quarterbacks next year, it's probably Stidham and Tom Brady after today. That might be what the book says. Depending on after next week, it might be different. It might be Stidham might be out of it, or he might be in first. Stidham and Brady. I know you watched a little bit of the Bucks game today, and I watched a little bit of the Bucks game just to scout them out a little bit. And I like what I saw from Tom Brady, and I like what I saw from Stidham. So I feel pretty good about who we're going to get next year, especially in the Josh McDaniels system, that when it's working, I mean, it's working.
I think, and it's to me, and I know this is only one game, and I can come on here next week and, say a whole bunch of things different. As of right now, I think one game, I think I like younger, and if he's going to continue to play like this, and he knows McDaniel's system, he's been in that system for quite some time now. We traded for him just for familiarity, and now, I mean, we got this. Stidham's looking like the guy right now, and just someone that you could build with and grow chemistry with everybody, and to where if you get Brady, it's that 1 year, maybe 2. Let's just say for right now 1 year, and then you plug somebody else back in. And, if he balls out next game, I don't think there's a reason why he should, sit out another year for a quarterback and then come in and, all right, now this is my team.
If he does, it makes it tricky is just that the Super Bowl's in Vegas next year, and who does Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler think gives them the best chance? It's it's their decision at the end of the day. So I don't know. So that's what makes it tricky is a Super Bowl thing next year in Vegas.
And I think the thing is too is like their jobs could be at stake.
Yes.
And to where if we get off to a start next year as we did this year, a 2-6, a 2-5, they could be gone.
Yes.
And if our bye's kind of later or right around that time, that could be the time to do so. So they're going to be fighting, coaching, and getting players for their jobs. Because you can't go wrong with this. If you're McDaniels and Ziegler, you cannot go wrong with this. This has been something for the last so many quarterbacks, 20 years. We need it to be right, and we need it to be right this offseason. Because if it's wrong, then we could take a major step backwards.
Yes.
If we don't draft the right quarterback in the draft, or if we don't pick the right quarterback in the free agency, or keep this guy, then we could be in for
the pressure's on now. Like you said, their jobs could be at stake. But not only that, we have a good roster on offense right now, and we can build up that defense a little bit more. We have a good anchor in Max Crosby.
We saw what this offense was supposed to look like: 500 yards, 34 points. Yeah, we lost, whatever. And I think this one should tell you, whatever we do, we need to. I know quarterback situation, but we need to fix our defense.
Yes,
there's no reason why we should be losing when we scored 34 points and put up 500 yards against the number 1 ranked defense in the league.
Yes,
and and you can go back to games. You need to stop here, stop here, stop here. I'm just talking about today. We put up 34 points and we lost. I don't think I think we need some help on defense, and I think that should be the main priority this offseason.
Yeah, for sure. And going into next season, depending on the quarterback you get, is how you're gonna revamp this offensive line. You might keep the same offensive line, you might add one or two pieces, or you might change the whole damn thing. So it just depends on the quarterback we get. But I really loved what I saw from Stidham in the game against the 49ers, and it just makes things way more interesting. It makes it fun, and I'm just gonna say it. It was just fun watching and just rooting for your quarterback so hard today. Yeah, and just the way he was playing. It's just it was fun to watch for me personally.
Because you didn't want this. With everything going on, you didn't want everybody to be right. You didn't want to sit here and this be a blowout, a 37-3 ball game, or and it wasn't. It was competitive. It was right there. We took the lead. They took the lead, and it was just a shootout. And this was the one that I think when the schedule came out, we circled it. Carr versus Trey Lance. Who's going to do it? Then some stuff happened. Carr versus Garoppolo. And then. Now it's game week, and you're getting Stidham versus Brock Purdy. But this is probably going to be the game of the week. Shootout. Both teams played really good. Unfortunately, we didn't get it done. But just how the season went and everything, like the way this offense played.
Yeah, a lot of good things. A lot of really good things in this game. Yeah, I mean, man, makes things interesting. It's going to be fun. I know you're a big Carr fan, Nick. And how did you feel about Stiddy before the game and then after the game?
I was a little skeptical before the game. I'm not believing everything ESPN and all of them said, but this is the number one defense. And you look at what they've done these past 3 or 4 games, or in their 8-game stretch that they've won. But in the last 3 or 4 games, they were giving up next to nothing, in yards. And, with rushing and everything. And I think I said Josh Jacobs is going to have if we're going to win, Josh Jacobs needs to have a field day to help the whole offense out. He came out first drive, really did good. And I said, okay, now that they've seen him, let's see what they throw at him and let's see how he responds.
And if we have a scripted playbook for so many plays,
and
how does he do after that?
And he sat there and led us into the red zone a whole bunch of times. I think we've only punted once or twice. Really kept this offense in check and kept this offense good. Kept us in the ball games, make some big time throws, and the 2-minute drill at halftime, leading into halftime, 2-minute drill,
end of regulation.
In the end of regulation, it says all you need to say that that he might be the real deal. So, I liked it.
So Derek Carr, Derek Carr fans, Raider fans, I get it. He didn't make the big throw in the big. He messed up. He messed up and threw a pick.
Yeah.
But do you judge him how you would judge DC, since this is Stidham's first game, or should they judge him like they judge DC because this is Stidham's first game?
No matter what, this
compared to Carr's 9 seasons.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to bring Carr down either. But I'm just saying.
I think, and I'm not. This isn't Carr versus Stidham. We're not going to do this. But
it's not.
If Carr had the same exact game, we would go and look at his 2 picks. This is Stidham's first career start. He played really good. He surprised everybody. Kind of all that kind of throws out the window. But no matter what, I think in this game, we should just be looking at defense and how much help we need there. Yes. I don't think we are a player away. I think we're a couple players away. And I think that has to do on defense.
Yeah. I agree. 100%. But I don't want to see people going on and be like, Carr would have won the game. Or Stidham did the
Carr would have made that throw. Or Carr would have done this.
Or Stidham did the same thing as Carr. Because I really love the way Stidham played. And I feel like he did put us in a better position to win than I think Carr would have. No matter what happened. And I just think everyone should appreciate the way Jarrett Stidham played. Yeah. And like you said, it shouldn't be Carr versus Stidham or anything, but everyone should start looking to the future and respect what Jarrett Stidham did today.
And I don't, the Carr situation, Carr's not a Raider, not going to be a Raider. I think that should be thrown out the window. This is about now. This is about Stidham and what we're going to do. Played really good. Would I love to see him make that throw, or not make that throw.
Yeah.
Should I say, and Jacobs was running really good. We could not dinked and dunked, but screened our way, little passes, 5-10 yard passes, and even in getting a field goal, because Robbie Gould was a little shaky from 40. That, maybe stopped him. But I mean, you got to love the balls on that guy for trying to make a big play and try to get it done right there.
Yeah, that was a really fun one. We'll see you guys next time. We'll have our Raiders versus Chiefs game preview.
Our last one.
And I think it's going to be, I know, despite we didn't make the playoffs and stuff, but I think this last game is going to be exciting to be able to evaluate Stidham and be able to evaluate this Raider offense. And it's going to be fun. I think this offseason is going to be really fun. I know last year, I think we were excited for offseason a little bit because, like, what wide receiver are we going to get or who are we going to get? But this one I think is going to be even more fun, especially if Stidham plays good. Then it just makes things way more interesting.
I think for this offseason, I'm just talking about myself. I think we would probably have to I'm not going to try to get too high or too low. We heard McDaniels and we were up here. Hey, we're going to be this. We're going to go do this. And we heard Ziegler. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. I think, seeing just this year, I'm excited for all the moves we're going to make and what we're going to do because there's going to be some big changes. But until that ball gets placed down week 1, we're not going to know how we're going to look or what we're going to do, but it is going to be exciting.
Yeah, I know you're probably not going to agree with me. I know you said something on the show the other day that we're far away, but I don't think we're far away. Like I don't think we're far away at all. I think we're like right there. We're including today, we're like 6 or 7 throws away from having a winning record and maybe even being top the AFC West or top the top wild card. So I don't think we're far away. No, so that's what makes this offseason even more fun, knowing that we're not far away and we're not as bad as our record looks.
Because I think if everything went right, we could be 15-1, 14-2 right now.
Yes.
But, and what I was just saying, it was, just the defense. You looked at the defense kind of today when we needed stops or whatever. You look at all these Super Bowl teams, championship defense. That's kind of where I was kind of getting.
Yeah.
But, I think after looking at today, you keep somebody in there who's going to put up some points. Anything can happen.
Yeah, if you like this offense for another week against the Chiefs, and you like the offensive line the way they looked, and you like all the pieces around Stidham, you can save some money, and you can go all out in the draft on defensive players. You can go all out in the draft, or go all out in free agency, all defensive players, and just get a bunch of them and just narrow them down in camp.
Yeah, and I think we can kind of talk about contract stuff later or whatever, but if Stidham's your guy, you sign him 2 years, give him a short leash, not a long leash, 2 years, it'd be cheap. That's more money you can spend this year and next year on defense and skill players or just whatever you want to do. Then if he does well and we're there and we're close, or if we do it, but if we're close, then you give him his money and let's go do this thing.
Yeah, Stidham, I could just tell from the beginning of the game, he had full confidence, saw his wife, very pretty. Stidham's a good-looking dude. I just knew he had confidence. He passed the eye test. He's a quarterback.
And he said jitters left him once we started moving the ball, which was really quick. So you liked him coming out and not being scared, acting scared or anything. I think any other quarterback coming into that situation would have, this is the number one defense, this is that. Could have been a terrible day for them. Stidham came in and did his thing, and sucks that we came up short.
Yeah,
because I think the way he played, offensively, we deserved to win the ball game.
Yeah.
But this is a 53-man game, and overall we just couldn't do it today. But just the way he played gives us hope.
I think,
and we like it.
We're both upset about the last play. I think everybody's upset about the last play, but I think with a guy in his first start, a youngster, he's younger, 26. I think you gotta respect how he played for 4 quarters.
Yeah.
He didn't finish off the 5th quarter, but how he played for 4 quarters. So
and everything was consistent from the first half to the second half. Points were consistent, and yards were almost about consistent at like 250 apiece. They came out and really played good for offensively for 4 quarters, something that we haven't seen. And even when we scored big points like that Houston game, we exploded in the second half. We didn't put everything together. We put offensively everything together, and if this is what it's going to look like, then I think we'll talk about this later. I would love to keep Waller. I would love to pay Jacobs, and let's go run it back with this, of course, a different quarterback, and let's go make a run at this thing next year.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next time Go Raiders.
Go Raiders.